You're listening to the Nutrition Experts Podcast, featuring guests who take the scientific talk about food and break it down for practical use. You've heard the phrase, "you are what you eat." Come find out what that really means. Experience conversations with experts in the field of nutrition and understand the power of food for our health, well-being, and beyond. Now, here's your host, registered dietitian and nutritionist, Mathea Ford.
Hi, it's Mathea. Welcome to the Nutrition Experts Podcast. Nutrition is how we fuel our bodies, and food can be a healer or a hindrance. I love the field of nutrition and all the ways it affects our lives. I love how it makes us stronger or weaker, faster or slower, and it's full of emotional meaning well beyond eating our veggies and saying no to too much cake, or eating our veggies and keeping everything in moderation. I've been a registered dietitian nutritionist for 21 years, and in that time, I have learned a lot more than I ever expected to learn during my internship. I went to Kansas State University and got my undergraduate degrees in nutrition and exercise sciences. Then I got an internship with the U.S. Army, where I went to San Antonio, Texas, and did a program at Fort Sam Houston in Brooke Army Medical Center. I was in the Army for 5 years. Then I became a civilian. That time in the military shaped me and my direction significantly, even as much as attending KSU, which was a school very focused on nutrition and food service. I am a food service dietitian, and I love making healthy food taste great, especially in a hospital. Currently, I work with kidney disease and create recipes and information for people who struggle with CKD. But I have worked as a clinical nutrition manager and as a food service manager, and I have taught at the college level. One fun thing I've done was also to design room service kitchens. When I first got my credential, I remember thinking that I was done learning. Go ahead and laugh. And then I would just practice. At that point, I had gone to school or had been training for 7 years. But after about a year in actual practice, I was bored and didn't think I even wanted to continue being a dietitian. As a professional, I couldn't stop learning because I had continuing education credits I needed every 5 years to maintain my credential. So in an effort to gather CEUs, I attended a seminar about women's health and the unique issues with nutrition and weight the female body provides. I could not sleep that night after all the interesting thoughts and plans the learning had sparked in my mind. I wrote all over my book, and I had so many questions. And that was just the beginning of my thirst for more. Ever since, I love to attend conferences and seminars just to learn the latest and greatest information in every field. As a clinical nutrition manager, I worked with a team of dietitians who each specialized in a subset of clinical diseases and processes. It was a challenge to make sure they were at their best and keeping up with what was new. You see, just like all doctors aren't generalists, neither are dietitians. Some specialize in cancer, some in kidney failure, some in children, some in eating more, and some for those who can't eat at all. And that means we can all learn more about our field and related fields, because many things can be used from other fields if we just knew about them. I seek out the changes and how it impacts nutrition, even if it's not directly related to what I do now. I could list 20 things about nutrition that have changed in the 20 plus years that I've worked in the field. I remember thinking food was just an inert substance. But now I know it can impact someone in the immediate aftermath of trauma, and it can change your risk for cancer, and it can nourish you more than most will ever know. So I'm on a quest to learn more every day. You won't get CEUs for listening to me and my guests, but you will find your mind expanded far beyond what you had imagined before. I'm going to talk to more than dietitians because we are not the last word on what nutrition is, but I am going to keep it real and keep it on the level of more than theory and more than abstract ideas to make sure you have actionable ideas and plans when you're done listening. I want you to know more about the topic and the guest. I want to share topics you may or may not be familiar with. You're going to expand your horizons on a regular basis just by listening to the conversation I have with each guest. And I invite you to join me every week. And if you know someone who I should talk to, please send them my way by sending them to my website, nutritionexpertspodcast.com, and fill out the guest request form. I appreciate you, and I look forward to learning more with you every week. Bye for now.
You've just listened to an episode of the Nutrition Experts Podcast. Be sure to get more information about this week's episode at www.nutritionexpertspodcast.com. Tune in next time for another great conversation with a nutrition expert and expand your personal knowledge in the field of nutrition, one conversation at a time.